All right, so I was in the middle of taking off my strings when I thought, hey, it would be a great idea. But here's a great way to learn how to put new strings on. It is a way, it's not the way. I'm not going to be bold and say, you know, this is the only way to do it. I know there's so many different ways to do it. But one of the things I already did is I loosened the strings, and this is just how to get them off. I loosened them, I trimmed them in the middle. I took the pins out, and then I did a kind of a cleaning of the guitar, the body, the back, the sides, the neck. I'll probably do a little bit more. I recommend, you know, a good cleaner. I know some people use linseed oil on the fretboard, different things to try and keep the guitar in great shape, but I'm gonna do a video on how to put new strings on. So I've already done that. I'm gonna do it on this Taylor over here. So, as you can see, there are no strings on, right? I'm just gonna clean some dust off as well. It's been a minute since I changed some strings, so I figure I should probably do that. I get so much spit and saliva and sweat on this that, as you can see, no matter how much I try to clean, obviously a good polish, a good cleaner will do that. I just recommend looking something up that's meant for guitar and not just your average ordinary household cleaner, because that can damage the guitar. So I don't know if it's easier to see like this, but I'll take it and I'll put the string in there. I'll grab my pin. I'll put it barely in there, and I'm gonna try and just make sure that when I put it down, I pull up and you can hear the string kind of lock in. There's a piece of these strings right here where it can kind of just lock in to right here so that it doesn't let the pin pop out like that. So I try to do that first. Okay. I think it's staying put. Okay. I put it for the angle of this. So this is the one right here. It's going to go in. I try to rotate this so that the hole is vertical. You can see the hole. It's facing up and down because it's important what I'm going to do with it next. So I make sure that the hole is up and down. I'm just going to actually do that to all of them so they're all ready and prepped. I'm going to rotate these until the hole is up and down on all of these. Just twist until you do it. That one's good. And I would say if any of these are loose or too loose or too tight, now's the time to take a tool and kind of loosen these here so that none of them are wobbly or whatever. I don't have that issue. And then obviously there's the compartment for changing the truss rod. Okay, so a good rule of thumb for me, this is just over time. With the low strings, I take this end, I put it through my hole here. Okay, and I kind of pull it through. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of measure. I'm gonna measure, and what I do is I put it along the where the nut is. I put it in its area, and then I measure kind of half a body length. And what I mean by that is when you put it here on where it's supposed to go, when you pull it just kind of loosely like this, it's halfway between the fretboard and here. So halfway. A full body length would be up to here for me. So I kind of do a half body length. And what I found is that gives me enough around here when I wind it to keep it in tune really, really nice. Now it's important right here. What I do at this point is I take this, since it's up and down, you can see it's up and down. And what I'm gonna do is bend it and make kind of like a right angle. I'm gonna pull here and bend and wrap it around that post a little bit. And like I said, this is just how I do it. It's not how you, so I don't know if you can see that, but I've taken that, I've bent it and wrapped it around that post, okay? Now while pulling here, keeping that tension, I take my little winder tool. You don't need one of these, but you are going to wind, oops, wrong way, sorry. And while you're holding that tension, you're going to wind, and always you got to do it this way. Otherwise, when you're tuning, it won't make sense. You always wind to the outside like this. So on these lower strings, you're always winding this way and this way. Okay? So you just wind. You keep going. And what I try to do is I wrap down the post. That might not make sense, but I try to hide the extra string piece below the one I just wrapped. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So right here, this piece is going underneath the one I just wrapped. So I'm gonna hold this tension and go underneath. You hear that kind of moving? Oh, looks like I didn't get the post all the way down. That's okay, I'm just gonna hold it here. Sometimes that happens. I'm just gonna keep wrapping. And I'm always gonna, well, come on, stay in there, peg. This is one of the reasons I like to have it done before I do this part. I'm gonna try this one more time. There we go. You hear that little click? Come on now. And I don't really like to go right to standard tuning. I just kind of give it enough tension. And then because I don't want this thing dangling in my face all the time, as you can see, it's like about 2 wraps, 2 to 3 around that post. And that's just enough for me. So right about then I clip this here. I set that aside so it's not dangling in my face. And I just repeat that process for each string. Obviously this way the same. This way is going to be rotating around the other way. But on the bottom, I do less than half a body length. I'll do about 1/4 of a body length because I found that the thinner ones you don't need as much. These thicker ones need a little bit more just because I found that to keep them nice and in tune, I don't know. Like I said, it's my method, it's not the method. All right, I'm gonna take one more and I'm gonna do this for you a little bit quicker without explaining it. And then I'll just finish this up, show you the bottom strings, the higher strings. I put it through again, and put it on its little slot, and then I'll do half a body length about there. I'll bend it, twist around the post. Okay, you can see it's kind of got that bend in it. And then I'll pull the tension here. And then I'll just hand wind it so you can see. Sometimes this kind of gets in the way, so I'll just, okay. Holding it, checking the peg. Peg is coming up just a tidge. I'll make sure that that's good. Okay, that seems better. Pull this guy taut again, keep winding. Okay, and obviously wrapping. So if here's your first wrap, then you put the second wrap as it's around the post below it. I don't like wrapping up the post because then you run out of real estate really fast. And you'll find that it bunches it up fine when you wrap down the post. Bunches up the rest of the string fine. Feeling a little bit of tension here, you'll feel it. And then when it's tight on my fingers, I just let go. Again, I'm not concerned about it being in tune. I just want it to have tension, and I'll gradually bring it up to standard so that I'm not putting too much tension too quickly on the strings. Now I'm gonna do the treble strings. There's just one slight difference with the treble strings, and I think I already told you, but I'm just gonna show you. The pin locked in there. And then I'll take this, I'll put it through. And then I'm gonna put it on spec, and I'm gonna do a 1/4 body length. If you can see that. It's about a 1/4 body length, not half, about a 1/4. And I find that that's plenty. And then I'll take it and I'll bend this string. That's how that looks, I'll show you. You can see how I twisted it. Okay, and it's got that nice bend in it. And then for this one, I am gonna use a tool because it's kind of hard to reach around in front. So and you're always, again, you're wrapping to the outside of the body. So if you go the wrong way, just turn around, do it the other way. And then wrapping down the post, same way. Wrap underneath the thing you just laid down. Okay, checking the post, good. Post is good. Cool. I'm gonna zoom ahead and do a time lapse of these ones just so you're not watching me the whole time. It doesn't take forever. All right, so at this point, I kind of tune it by ear first, and it's kind of a little game I play. I can see how close I get it myself. Oops, forgot to cut this guy off. I see how closely I can get to standard. It's just kind of a fun game. And then something that some of you might not know or use is I actually enjoy using harmonics on this fret and this fret to tune by ear. So I'll take this and I'll just rest my finger on the fret to get that harmonic, and then I'll go to the A string and I'll grab that one and do the harmonic there. So it kind of looks like this, like a bar chord. You can hear like those waves kind of collapse on each other. This is the difference. And then it kind of stops. So then I'll do that with the next one. I don't know if anyone knows this. This one doesn't have the proper harmonic for the G string, so I end up doing, I do this just the regular way that people do it, just for that one. And it's already going out, as you can see. One thing I forgot. I'll do this first, and I'll try it by ear, and then the next step I'll just show you. I pre-stretch the strings, so I'll tune. Close. I know it's not standard though, right? So then I'll do that, and then I'll take each string. I'll take the E string, start stretching all the way up and down. Take the A string, stretching it. Obviously, you don't want to torque the heck out of it, but stretch it enough so there's a little bit of stretch in these, so that when you tune again, it might stay a little bit better. And then you tune it up. You start playing. Play it for a good 20 minutes. Keep tuning all the way, and after that, it should be good to go, Yeah, you can tell. I want to see how close I am. I'm going to grab a tuner. Ooh, D sharp. Not bad. I wasn't that good back then, but pretty close. So I was the equivalent of a half step down. It's already going out. Strings are stretching. So as soon as you kind of go there, you tune everything up. Just play it a bunch, get those strings to stretch, and you should be good to go. One last final thing, and this is purely cosmetic. You'll notice that when I cut these strings, they're kind of jagged and all over the place. So one of the things I do is, if you have a pair of rubber pliers, or maybe you've got something else, I'll take the rubber end of these and I'll just kind of bend them around the string post so that they're out of the way if I'm like tuning. I don't want to cut my finger on those. So I'll just take it and I will use this little rubber thing and bend it away from myself. Take these, bend it down. See? I don't know if you can see that. Kind of makes them a little bit more out of the way. I find that it helps enough to not get cut. I kind of bend them towards the neck of the guitar. It's not long enough to scratch the neck. But I'll tell you what, if you get one of these to the finger, that hurts real bad. Oh yeah, here you go. So good. If one of you knows of a different way to do the B string, I'd be more than happy to do a harmonic version. But I don't know it. Someone tell me in the comments. Better. Cool. Show you one last thing. This is something I really pride myself on. Normally when I'm at home, I don't have this with me, but since I'm here, I have this in my office. But I take all these extra stringies. If I'm at home, I will put them in those paper pouches that the strings come in and dispose of them. But if you don't, then you can be weird like me and you put them all together, right? And I do this little trick where I will wind them into a circle, kind of like how I wind my guitar cables, till it makes this nice little neat pile of metal goodness until it's a little more tame. Almost got it. All right, and then I'll do that. Okay, now watch this gloriousness. I'll be right back. Over the years, I have collected all of my strings when I change them, and I made this gigantic, you can silver ones in there, you can see. Oh look, and I add it to the bunch. You can see I have a broken cymbal in here as well. It's just my little collection. It's kind of like a badge of honor, all this acoustic guitar strings that I have had over the years. There's probably some from college in here, decade old. And yeah, it's just my little fun little collection. You can just throw them away and not be weird like me, but you know, it's just fun. I'll put some of these in the top till it forms a nice little, you know, a nice little bouquet of spare guitar strings, you know. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or you're like, Jake, that's not how you do it, just let me know. Like I said, this is a way to do it. It's not the way. Next video will be maybe the taking the strings off process. I'm sure I might have missed something here or there, but feel free and enjoy changing your guitar strings. The next time, if you have any questions, feel free to send them in. But from me to you, this is how you change acoustic guitar strings, put new strings on. What do you think? Catch you next time.